Well, Vikings, you just failed to win the division. You just lost to the Lions. Gotta be kidding me. Wow. How unbelievable, Vikings. How unbelievable. How unbelievable, Vikings. Ugh. Oh my god. You just lose the NFC North showdown against the Lions in Detroit. Because last time we the Lions in week 3, 28-24 at home. Vikings. Alright. Here's the stats. Here's the passing for the Vikings. Kirk Cousins had 425 yards and 2 touchdowns. Dalvin Cook had 0 yards and 0 touchdowns. Dalvin Cook had 23 yards and 1 touchdown on the rushing. And Alexander Masson had -1 yards and 0 touchdowns. And receiving, Justin Jefferson had 223 yards. TJ Hawkinson had 77 yards. Adam Thielen had 65 yards and 1 touchdown. KJ Osborne had 38 yards and 1 touchdown. Dalvin Cook had 13 yards and 0 touchdowns. CJ Ham had 9 yards. Jalen Rigor had none. Sorry I had this cough. Alright. Dalvin Tomlinson had 8 tackles and 1 assist. Josh Metellus had 7 tackles and 2 assists. Jordan Hicks had 7 tackles and 1 assist. Eric Hendricks had 6 tackles and 3 assists. Chandon Sullivan had 5 tackles. Patrick Peterson had 5 tackles. Harrison Phillips had 2 tackles and 2 assists. Oh, man. Cameron Dantzler had 2 tackles and 1 assist. Duke Shelley had 2 tackles. Danielle Hunter had 2 tackles. James Lynch had 2 tackles. Jalen Rigor had 1 tackle. Nezi Amatuo, I think that's how you pronounce it, had 1 yard. Jalen Naylor had none. Tyrus Tonga had 2 assists. Miles Dorn had none. Zadarius Smith had 1 assist. Patrick Jones too had 1 assist. And Kirk Cousins had none. Ezra Cleveland had none. DJ Womnum had 1 assist. Cameron Bynum only had 1 assist. Alright, no kick returns. Jalen Rigor had 1 return and 9 yards. Greg Joseph had made 1 field goal. Ryan Wright had 159 yards. Alright. Now here's the Lions stats. Jared Goff had 330 yards and 3 touchdowns. And the rushing, CJ Moore had 42 yards. Jamal Williams had 37 yards. DeAndre Swift had 21 yards. Justin Jackson had 19 yards and 1 touchdown. Jared Goff had 9 yards. Amon-Ra St. Brown had 6 yards. And receiving, DJ Chark had 94 yards and 1 touchdown. Amon-Ra St. Brown had 68 yards. Josh Reynolds had 51 yards and 1 touchdown. Jameson Williams had 41 yards and 1 touchdown. Khalif Raymond had 19 yards. DeAndre Swift had 18 yards. James Zylstra had 18 yards. Justin Jackson had 12 yards. Panay Sewell had 9 yards. Jamal Williams had none. Brock Wright had none. Alright. Here's the defense for the Lions. Alex Anzalone had 6 tackles and 3 assists. Mike Hughes had 6 tackles and 1 assist. Deshaun Elliott had 6 tackles. Jerry Jacobs had 5 tackles and 2 assists. Jeff Ukada had 4 tackles and 1 assist. Amani Uwari, I think that's how you pronounce it, had 4 tackles and 1 assist. Kirby Joseph had 4 tackles. Malcolm Rodriguez had 3 tackles and 2 assists. Aiden Hutchinson had 2 tackles. Salim McNeil had 1 tackle and 1 assist. James Houston had 1 tackle. Isaiah Buggs had 1 tackle. Joshua Paschal had 1 tackle. Gerard Davis had 1 tackle. Chris Board had 1 tackle. Jason Cabinda, had none. Anthony Pittman had 1 assist. John Kaminsky had 1 assist. CJ Moore had 1 assist. Alright. Justin Jackson had 21 yards on the kick returns. The punt returns, Khalif Raymond had 48 yards. And Michael Badgley had made 2 field goals. And Jack Fox had 96 yards. Yeah. And also, yeah, and DJ Chark had 1 touchdown. Josh Reynolds had 1 touchdown. Jamison Williams had 1 touchdown. And Justin Jackson had 1 touchdown too. Now here's the stats. Look at this. Look at this. Here's the total yards. The Vikings had 416 total yards, and the Lions had 464 total yards. And the passing yards, the Vikings only had 394 yards, and the Lions had 330 passing yards. And the rushing yards, the Vikings only had 22 rushing yards, and the Lions only had 134 rushing yards. And the yards per play, the Vikings only had 6.7 yards per play. The Lions had 6.7 yards per play. Yeah. And first downs, the Vikings only had they both had 23 first downs. Yeah. Yeah. Man, I just got this cough. And man, now the Vikings play at home on Saturday for week 15 against the really bad team, the Indianapolis Colts. So yeah, hope we win the division, Vikings. Wow.